listen, if you're listening to this, yeah, and you haven't made any progress in the last 2 months, what have you got to lose?
There you go.
Okay, what have you got to lose? Train maximum 3 times a week. Split your body into 3 body parts, 3 whatever, chest, shoulders, tricep, back, bicep, legs. Train, warm up, do 1 set, 2 set to warm up, whatever it takes, and then just go balls in. And you got to focus. You got to focus on the muscle. You got to focus on the mechanics. Yeah, and some exercises you've got 2 levels of strength. Some you've got 3. So if you have resistance in the peak contraction, you have 3. So let's take a pull down for back. You've got 3 there. Positive, pull in, weakest part of the movement. Static, hold, stronger than the positive. Negative, strongest part of the movement. So we can do the positive with controlled power. Get here, you should be able to pause for a second. If you can't pause there for a second, you didn't get it there with muscle. Use momentum to get it going. No momentum. Down, pause, slow, control. Keep doing this. Have a training partner there if you can, yeah? Because you're going to fail here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can help you through that to get here where you're still strong and get to here where you're still strongest too. So you need to do a couple of reps like there where you're really going beyond failure. Done. Nice. Finished. That exercise is done. Go to another one. Maybe 3 exercises for your back. Yeah. So we're talking about 3 sets of pull downs, 2 or 3 sets of rows, because you need to warm up with 1 or 2 sets. Yeah. And maybe 2 or 3 sets of cable rows, and finish with 2 or 3 sets of deadlifts. 1, 2, 3, 4 exercises, leave the gym. You can do that in half an hour. If you haven't progressed in the last 2 months, if you do what you did in the last 2 months, in the next 2 months, what will you get? Exactly the same results, yeah? I don't know if it was Einstein or maybe somebody. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and expecting a different outcome.
Yeah, it's Einstein. Yeah.
Right? So if what you're doing now is not working now, it won't work next week or the week after or the fucking week after that or so on and so on and so on. So if you're not making progress, visual progress in 2 months, you're not getting stronger. And you know, we can make this whole process sound very complicated, which is what internet gurus and trainers try to do to
sell programs.
To validate themselves, to make themselves sound important.
Yeah.
Is not that complex, yes? You must get stronger to get bigger. So if your weights are going up, great sign. You're growing.
Yeah.
If they stayed the same as they were last month or the month before, you are not going anywhere. And you will not go anywhere in the next 2 months. So reassess, come back, do a lot less, get a lot more rest. You might even start like this. First of all, take a week off. Don't do any training for a week. Let your body recover. Come back to an abbreviated routine. And you will respond. Trust me, if you're doing it properly.
That's a gem. I think that's something that
it's a challenge. I'm challenging anyone that's listening to this. Yeah. If you haven't progressed in the last 2 months, you will not progress in the next 2 months. I'll guarantee you that. Come on, logic. Think about it, guys. Yeah? So change it. Change it up. Change it to a brief routine, and you will find that you're going to start, ooh, I've got 1 more rep. Ooh, it's going up. It's going up. Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
I'm not surprised.
I think that's something I'm going to carry into my own training going forward.
So I should finish the Arthur Jones.
Yeah.
He was the guy, and you should read Arthur Jones. Not saying he got everything right, because he wasn't a competitive bodybuilder, which is a bit different, because the average person just needs to build the main, basic exercise, the main muscle mass. In the bodybuilding contest, we need to work the side delt and the rear delt. Average person doesn't need to do that for their health and so on.
Yeah.
So, some things Arthur wasn't thinking along the lines of a competitive bodybuilder. So Arthur Jones was the guy that came up with this theory. And of course, the Nautilus machines, which were amazing. We've got the pullover machine.
Yeah.
Nautilus machine is amazing because the cam ensures that, like, if you have a barbell and you do a curl, at the bottom, the resistance is very little. Mm. And as you go up, it gets more and more until you hit the midpoint where it's maximum, and then it falls off again.
Yeah.
With the Nautilus machines, that means you got the maximum resistance all the way through the movement. So they were revolutionary and still the best weight training machines on the market, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And his son Gary Jones made the hammer strength line.
Oh, he actually made that, did he?
So yeah. So that's related as well. Also another great piece of equipment. Mm-hmm. And then Mike Menser came along, who was a competitive bodybuilder, world champion, pro, wrote a lot for the Weider magazines, got demoralized in 1980 when he got 5th place in the Olympia that he was expecting to win, and Arnold came along at the last minute and decided to enter the contest, although that shouldn't have been allowed. But anyway,
but he gets special treatment.
Yeah, so, it's Arnold, so he did that, and Mike Menser retired after that point. I think he never really recovered from that. But that was the history that I was introduced with, and I took that and kind of adapted it a bit and used my training diaries as my kind of scientific experiment, which was basically collecting data.
Yeah.
I was collecting data on my training and analyzing what would happen if I changed, if I trained more often. And if I trained more often, my progress would come to a halt. Ooh. So let's go back to an abbreviated routine. Boom, start growing again. All right, don't need to learn that lesson over and over again, do I? Thank you for that, yeah. So 3 or 4 times a week, 3 times a week if you're natty. Don't try to do more than that. And go in there and train strictly, warm up 1 or 2 sets, and then just all out, everything. Life depends on its set. And move on, do another exercise. 3 exercises for back, 3 for quads, maybe 2 for delts, 2 for biceps, triceps. If I write this down on a piece of paper and give it to somebody, it looks like nothing. They're like, "Whoa, this is nothing."
Yeah, people almost want to do more.
But this is human nature. Human nature, I understand it. More is better, but it's not in this case.
Yeah,
more intensity is better, not more volume. More intensity. Mike Menser used to say, human nature to assume that more is better, and it's not, except for money and women. And you're probably wrong about those 2 as well. I'll bring you problems as well.
More money, more women, more problems.
More is not better, man.
Nice.
Better is better.
Yeah, and so
Smarter is better.
Yes, there you go.